I know we're here today, we see this finished result, but these people have been putting together this event for months and months. So students, let's turn around and give your mentors and the staff and volunteers a round of applause, please. Today, you have a choice to, as you can read here, what are you chasing? Are you chasing clout or careers? By show of hands, how many people know what the word clout means? Okay, y'all look around, okay? Now, for those who don't know, clout, this is a term that's often used to negatively criticize someone who's chasing popularity or chasing fame. Now, with that, there's different forms that this come in, right? Some people chase clout by actually posting, maybe they didn't even buy it themselves, right? Then you also have some people who start drama and controversy. People who get on TikTok and try to do these challenges, right? All of these are different ways that people chase clout. But last but not least, sometimes we try to do things to impress other people with people who may not be our real friends. And I'll be truthful. When it comes to the consequences of chasing clout, it's never been good for many people. Some people have actually lost their college scholarships, not been able to attend colleges. Some people have had their jobs terminated over previous and past posts. Some people have damaged their credibility, and some people have just suffered from public embarrassment, right? So for me, I want to really assist you guys understand what the opportunity that you have today. Now, I know you see me in this suit, right? Looking suave and things, right? Professionally prepared for today. But I'll be the first person to tell you, I do not look like what I've been through. All right? Now, with that being said, I'm going to share my story with you, and I need you to understand that there's going to be some lessons learned in here that you can take away. So, with that being said, if you're ready, let me hear you say, where are you from? Where are you from? I'm originally from Lufkin, Texas. I've never met my father. My mother resorted to alcohol and drugs to provide her balance. I was introduced to 8 different step-parents by the time I was in the 8th grade. 2 being white men, 1 being a Hispanic man, 1 being a woman. I also moved 2 to 3 times every year of my life up until I was 24, so I never had a foundation. But this is where it all started for me, 5th grade. This was the year my mom, my brother, and I lived with my aunt, her 3 kids, and her boyfriend. That's 8 people living in a 2-bedroom house. In order for us to eat, we used hot skillets and crock pots. In order for us to take a hot bath, we had to warm up water in the microwave. During this time, my older cousins who lived with me, they were gang affiliated, so I was exposed to the streets a little earlier than most students. Moving to middle school. 7th grade, this was a year that I vividly remember. This was a year that I remember the teacher asking, okay, everyone come in, share what your name is, and share what it is that you want to do after high school. So people were saying, oh, I want to go, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, I want to go to the NFL, NBA. I actually told the class that I wanted to drop out of school in the 10th grade. Mainly because the people who were taking care of me, the people who were in my life at that time, that's exactly what they did. And I just automatically assumed that I was supposed to become a part of that cycle. Now moving to high school, my 10th grade year, this was the most memorable. So as I shared with you all, I moved every year. This was the year my mom decided that she wanted to move to Wichita Falls. And by the 10th grade, I realized that we were poor. On so many occasions, I had to start the school year with hand-me-downs. Y'all know what hand-me-downs are, huh? Yeah. So many occasions, I had to start the school year with old clothes, right? So when in 10th grade, I made the decision that when I turned 15, I was going to get my own job, and I was going to buy my own clothes and support my mom the best I can. And so that's exactly what I did. I would literally go to school, pay someone $5 to drop me off at work, and I may have to walk home at night. But what that did was that built some determination in me, and it helped me learn how to save and budget my money. And before the end of my 10th grade year of high school, I was able to buy my own first car. So when my mom decided she wanted to move, I told her I didn't want to go. I finally felt like I was getting some stability. I had a job. I felt like I had steady friends. And so that day, I followed the same routine. I went to school, I went to work, I came home, my mother and my brother, they were gone. My little brother, he left a note on my dresser that said, I love you, and I'll see you when I see you. And from that point on, I was introduced to the streets hands-on. I ended up moving with a friend for 4 months, moving with another friend for 6 months, moved with my grandparents for 6 months, then I moved with an aunt. Now, this wasn't my blood aunt, but this was someone who, I guess you could say a friend of the family, but I was blessed because many people in her family had went to college and had careers and had been successful. See, for me, I didn't know what my options were after high school. So for you all, whether you're in elementary, middle school, high school, understand that you have many, many options for life after high school, right? And I didn't know these things. I didn't know how to research these things. So as you are going through your presentations and sessions today, think about everything that you're going to be learning and listening to, because people are going to have opportunities for you. I didn't know any of these things. I was blessed and fortunate to apply for colleges, and only one college accepted me, and that was Prairie View. But because I didn't have a vision for life after high school, when I got to college, I began to associate and affiliate with people who was just like me. People who were lost. People who didn't know that they had a purpose in life. People didn't know the why. Why am I coming to college? What can I do with the degree? What am I using it for after college? I didn't know these things, right? And so for 4 years, I'm hanging out with the people who have been actually kicked out of the school. What's supposed to happen after 4 years? Graduation, right? So the people who love me the most, they're asking me, Sterling, when you gonna graduate? It's been 4 years. And I'm like, graduate? I hadn't even thought about it. So at that point, I was faced with the decision. Either I am going to learn how to become a student, or I'm gonna have to become another statistic, right? Many of my friends who was in this picture, they made it to college, but because they didn't grow and develop and learn how to take notes, learn how to get prepared for their test, they didn't take those things serious, they dropped out, right? And so for me, I figured out, you know what? I'm gonna get mentors in my life. I joined the organization called Collegiate 100. These were younger men, 2 or 3 years younger than me, already dressing in suits, already going to career fairs, already they're finishing college in 4 years and graduating with $100,000 jobs. And I'm just like, wow, how do they know how to do this? So I joined that organization. Those young men taught me how to prepare for my class. They taught me how to become a professional student. And shortly after, guess what? I graduated. Y'all, give me a hand now. I graduated. Woo! Woo! All right. Now, my joy for graduating lasted as long as your class. And I'll share with you why. Because, first of all, I graduated. It took me 6 years to get a 4-year degree. Do y'all think they stopped charging me after 4 years? Not at all. So I gained more debt than the average college student because I didn't know about scholarships and grants. I didn't know about the power of my GPA. I didn't know these things, right? And not to mention, graduation was on Saturday. I realized I have to be out of my apartment by Wednesday. I don't have anywhere to go. Not to mention, I'm unemployed. So I was faced with that harsh reality again. Either I was going to find a job that was considered underemployment, or I could go back to school and take everything that I just learned, and this time around, begin with the end in mind. But this time around, I said, you know what? I'm going to challenge myself, right? I'm going to make sure that I get a mentor, right? I'm going to make sure that I keep my GPA above a 3.0 so that I can meet all the requirements for opportunities. I'm going to make sure that I'm prepared for all of my classes, right? I'm going to come to class with questions. I'm going to sit at the front. I'm going to make sure I have a growth mindset. Raise your hand if you've ever failed at something in here before. We all should. We all should have our hands raised. Now, the truth of the matter is, you have to have a growth mindset. You have to learn from the things that you did wrong so that you don't repeat those things, and that's having a growth mindset. Now, with that being said, I went back to Prairie View, and because of that new mindset, I became the first intern for the office of the president. This opportunity led me to actually going to the White House initiative on HBCUs. My friends, they flew me to Washington, D.C. for free, put me in a 5-star hotel for 4 nights for free, paid for all of my meals for 5 days. All of this was because I met the requirements. The requirements, a 3.0 GPA and pass an interview. And I know you probably wondering, for some of you, what is a 3.0 GPA? If you can make B's and A's while you're in high school and college, you will have a 3.0 or better, right? So it's very, very doable. You can do it. Now, because I went to this event, I was so excited. I was like, wow, I don't know how, but I gotta get back to DC. I went to something called a career fair, and I received another opportunity to go to the Thurgood Marshall Leadership Conference. It was the same setup. They asked me, what is your GPA? And you have to go through an interview process. It didn't cost me anything, and I love showing this because I was able to meet all these people, George Lopez, Sheila Johnson, all these people who are already millionaires. And what was so life-changing was, I went to this conference, they paid for everything, but most important, I was able to leave with 3 job offers, right? I made the choice to chase careers over clout, right? I had to make the decision. Now, with that being said, everything that I've learned in my corporate journey has pushed me to entrepreneurship, and now I'm a speaker, and now I've decided that I'm going to give the rest of my life to young students like yourself so that you can learn from my failures and you don't have to make the same mistakes, right? And just like me, all of these gentlemen is here, all of the people that's here to support you, we want the best for you, right? So, today, I want you to understand that success is a journey. It's not a destination. It's not about where you start in life, it's about how you finish. But you gotta understand that learning is a continuous journey. Although I can't go too far into my story, I'll tell you like this. One of the, I guess you could say, opportunities we have as youth is we have to make sure that we are connecting ourselves with who it is that we're gonna become when we're 30, who it is that we're gonna become when we're 50, when we're 60. That's why everything you're doing, you're learning today is so important. When you hear that term financial literacy, that's because people want you to understand that you're not going to be able to have the same energy and strength and have the same focus that you have now when you turn 60. So you got to make sacrifices now so that you can live the life that you want to live when you're 40, right? Your 40-year-old self is going to thank you for participating in this event and gain some information that changed the rest of your life. So, the challenge today, as you prepare to go through these sessions, you're going to be able to speak and hear from some people who are very, very knowledgeable in that area. So first of all, make sure you be present and ask questions, right? Sometimes we can get to a place and we can be there just to body, but if you're not there and you're not here, you're not engaging, it's nothing that you can take away. So make sure you have questions and ask questions. Make sure that you network. As shared, one of the things that changed my life was having mentors. All of these gentlemen that's here today to support you, these are opportunities for you to network with people who have went through what you're going through, right? People who can help you elevate in the next phase of your life. But it's up to you to reach out and network and make sure that you network with them, right? Take notes. Make sure that in each of your sessions that you go to, take notes, because when you get back home, when you leave here, you want to make sure that you have something that you can refer back to, right? And last but not least, challenge yourself daily. Challenge yourself to become better than you were yesterday. Now, last but not least, young men, be up on yourself, right? I know that there's so many opportunities that we have to just give up, and it's so easy to just say, I don't care, right? I don't care about that. And you probably have friends that do that as well, but never give up on yourself. As you can see, again, as I share with you, success is a journey, not a destination. Now, with that being said, I want you to stand up on your feet, young man. Stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. We're going to take the leader's pledge. We're going to take, I will lead. I will chase careers, not clout. I will use today to build my future. That, young man, I close. I thank you, and go be great today, and do what you need to do to position yourself for the rest of your life. Thank you all. Everybody in practice. That way when it comes to game time, you're going to be one goal of the number. If you already going as hard as you can in practice. Right?
Good morning. My name is Gerald Jones, and my church is Family Fellowship Community Church, where I pastor. I'm a retired United States Air Force Master Sergeant. Spent 32 years of combined military and civil service. I'm glad to be at this Boys Empowerment workshop, and great meeting Mr. Sterling Marks and his associate. So we are happy that this is happening in the Spring Independent School District, where I'm a part of the Ministers Alliance, and we are happy that you are part of this. What a blessing. I come to you. I am Pastor Hilliard Smith, Senior Pastor of a New Day Ministry of Houston, Inc. And I want to tell you, I have gotten inspired, not only for the young men here, but Sterling Mark. This is a testament of success. He's a testament of the saying, success is a journey, not a destination. And he's a testament that believes that if you're not changing, you're choosing. So he took the opportunity to change, to better. And he's excellent speaker. I'm inspired as an adult. If any time that Mr. Mark is somewhere you need to go and hear his testimony, hear his motivation, he's a dynamic speaker, he's an anointed speaker. I'm blessed to be able to be here and witness this great man right here. He's on his way. He's on the move, and ain't no way he's gonna stop now. Sterling Mark is the man of the future.
Hi, my name is Dr. Lorena Zertucci, and I am the Community Engagement Coordinator here in Spring ISD in the Family Community Engagement Department. And we had the pleasure today of having Mr. Sterling Mark be our keynote speaker at our 7th annual Boys Empowerment and Leadership Summit. He was amazing. He clearly knocked it out of the park. The message was on point and really pulled at my heartstrings. I loved his story. I was just engrossed by it and loved his passion for developing our young men, and he poured the best of himself today into our young men. So thank you so much. I highly recommend that you bring him to your campus too.
Perfect. Hello, my name's Lupita Hinojosa, and I'm the super proud superintendent of Spring ISD. And this morning, we kicked off our 7th annual Boys Leadership Summit. And this is a time where we bring young men, middle school and high school, male students to Dekaney High School, this beautiful auditorium and school, and we spend time developing leadership skills, addressing social emotional needs, academic needs, preparing them for college. And this morning we had Sterling. He was our keynote speaker. He met with these young men, over 300 students that are here, and he talked about being prepared, knowing what you want to do, and taking advantage of the great opportunities. He told them a little bit about his story that is very similar to the young men that we have here in Spring ISD, but ultimately he said, you've got to stay focused, you've got to be prepared, have a plan, and you can be successful. Sterling made quite an impact on our students, as well as the over 90 male mentors, volunteers that were here. So the question is, do you recommend Sterling? Absolutely. You've got students that could benefit from hearing about a personal story of a young man that, yes, struggled, but has been successful and is dedicating his life to promoting students, to making sure that they're well prepared for their future. I'd say yes. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jonathan Guidry, and I have the ability to come to the Boys Empowerment Leadership Program here in Spring ISD. Got the opportunity to hear Mr. Sterling Marks speak so famously well about giving back and how his journey came from when he was born and how he went to school and just got through life. And now he's talking to young men, young boys, and his speech was phenomenal. I actually engaged and learned from the things that he talked about. I can tell that the boys was really excited. They was listening, they was in tune. He's doing such a wonderful job giving back to the community through his talent that God gave him to express himself and really just give back and teach young men to learn and to change their mind and just be great in the community. I would definitely recommend Sterling Marks to come and speak at any engagement that y'all might have to just give a speech and just tell his story and empower anyone that want to listen and want to learn. He's a phenomenal man. He's also a PV alumni. So yes, I would definitely recommend Sterling Marks to come and be a speaker at any engagement or events that y'all have. Thank y'all and have a great day.
Hello, I am Trinita Carroll, and I have the honor of serving as the Executive Director of Family and Community Engagement in Spring ISD. We are here today at our 7th annual Boys Empowerment and Leadership Summit, where we bring in middle school and high school young men from all of our campuses, and we literally pour into them, making sure that they have all the tools and the skills that they need to be successful, not only in school, but in life. We focus on college and career readiness, leadership development, and social and emotional supports. We were very honored today to have Mr. Sterling Mark to serve as our keynote speaker, and it was fantastic. He told his story so that the kids could see that, much like many of them in the audience, he has that same background. He was an example of the kids seeing who they could be as adults, serving as a mentor, telling his story, motivating them, and letting them know you too can have a positive, bright future. We are very, very thankful for Mr. Mark coming in today and pouring into our kids. Thank you so much. We definitely recommend Sterling Mark to come and speak to your students, your staff, your parents, your community. He was absolutely phenomenal